Hello everyone, it is Friday, July 19th, 2019. Of course, Wednesday was New Comic Book Day, so today is New Comic Book video time. Of course, a lot of people are probably at the San Diego Comic-Con, which is, with all the great comic book conventions across the country, the San Diego Con is still the granddaddy of them all, but it has taken kind of a back step for me. Being from San Diego, I remember the excitement of going to the Comic-Con when it was all comic books. Now it's too much television and cosplay for me, so I just don't go. So a lot of books that came in this week, so we're going to jump right into the books, and then I have a small comment rant at the end of the video. I know a lot of you enjoy that, so let's jump right into the books. So this was a book that came out a couple weeks ago, and I was unable to get one because a lot of shops didn't carry it, and the orders just didn't come in, so I ordered one online. This is from Amigo Comics. This is Nasty Pills #1. I read this book and I kind of enjoyed it. Super low print run, a little bigger than the standard size of a comic. You can kind of see there how it is. So a little bit bigger than a normal comic. But I enjoyed the storyline. And again, small independent press company, sold out very, very fast. So if you have a chance to get these, pick one up if you enjoy things like that. The book I was showing you, Faithless #4. This is a Virgin variant right there. Faithless is a storyline that I really am enjoying, and I know a lot of you are. They had some different types of covers. That was the Virgin. Here is the regular cover for #4. Then they had a polybag version, which is an adult version, where the polybag looks like that. And there is the sexy cover, they call it, right there. A little tamer than a lot of the other covers they've come out with in the past, so but still really, really good read. A book that I absolutely loved when it came out originally, and then I haven't had a chance to read these yet. This is Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. This is book #5. They did it kind of weird. Here's 5, 6, and 7. The other one I wanted to pick up was really damaged, so I wasn't able to pick that up. Also coming up, there was a really nice Vampirella cover for the 50th anniversary of Vampirella, which I'm going to show in just a little bit. But this was one of the covers they had here. This one here, there was a ton of covers for this book. I think there was something like over 50 different covers for this. This one here was what they called a retailer exclusive. They offered a Vampirella standee with 3 boxes where you can put comic books in as a, an option for shops to buy. And if you bought one of those, they gave you 5 of these here. They were only available that way. So if one shop bought one standee, they got 5 copies of this. It was basically a one per box type of deal. So here is this variant here. Excuse me, kind of running over my words. It's kind of early here and I'm just tired. Batman 75, a book that for some reason sold out real quickly all over the place, and it's not doing anything really online, so I'm really not understanding why it sold out like that. But I do know a lot of shops that ordered this book were kind of shorted, so I was lucky to get a regular cover there. The book everybody was looking for, when I went to one of the shops I go to in the morning, there was already like 12, 15 people standing out front, and I'm like, what's everybody waiting for? And they're like, Captain Marvel. So here's Captain Marvel. This is the first appearance of a character called Star. This was the A cover. Now, I don't have, they had a carnageized, a blood version where there was a little bit of red in this area here, selling for, kind of a ridiculous amount of money. I didn't understand the big deal about it. I ordered these because I'll show you why. So I got a regular cover here, and I ordered extra copies of this book because of this cover. I thought the carnageized version of this book was really, really great. So I ordered like 4 of these, of the versions, and I was able to get a couple of the regular ones. I didn't get a Carnage, the blood variant on the regular cover, or whatever they want to call it. I just didn't get that. So here is a Deadpool #15, Scotty Young variant. I'm always going to buy Scotty Young. I think he does some really funny covers. They make me laugh, so I'm buying that there. Another book that was selling out at shops the day before they came out, which I thought was kind of funny as well. There were 2 covers for this. This is from American Mythology, and this is a one-shot. This is called Vampire PA. This was cover A. I have another cover. Again, like I show you these books, I just kind of grab the stacks and go. So this was cover A. Haven't had a chance to read it, but as you know, my love for everything vampire, I'm going to be all over that. Again, a no-brainer right here. Mortal Hulk number 21. All over that. Another really cool cover. This is Loki number 1, the Carnageized edition. This one here came in a lot of them damaged. It was real hard to find one. I have a little bit of an issue here, but nothing terrible. But not a perfect book by any stretch of the imagination. But I grabbed them, so I'm putting a set together. A really nice Elvira cover. I'll show you the cover first. Again, nothing goes wrong with a nice picture of Elvira, who is the obvious mistress of the dark, who has my heart on a string, because I love me some Elvira, just like I love Betty Page and everything like that. So there's that there. And then the cover of the week for the Elvira books right there, that was just a really good cover. And it was selling really, really well. But shops kind of understood this cover was going to be hot, and they kind of bought a bunch of them. So it's not going to be a hard book to find by any stretch of the imagination. Let me grab my other stack here. Like I said, it is a big, big week. Reprint. Fantastic Four number 1. I'm enjoying the reprints of these. I will buy these. I like these better than the True Believers, only because you can actually get a reprint of the actual book with the old advertisements, which I absolutely love. And again, even if you have one of these in your collection, it's always nice to have one that you can actually read without damaging the other one too much. There's another copy of Batman 75. This is the blank variant here. Another reprint issue here, Giant Size X-Men number 1. There's that. A purchase, excuse me, a purchase for just made me laugh when I saw it. This is Jughead's Time Police number 2 of 5, but I like the Back to the Future reference right there. So I was all over that there. Jughead the Hunger versus Vampironica. This is number 3. Really cool cover there. Another great Carnage cover here. Uncanny X-Men number 22. Really nice cover right there. This was a real popular cover. Probably, I'll save that for last. Black Badge number 12. Story's slowing down a little bit, but again, I'm still enjoying it, but it's kind of slowing down. A Walking Dead book, number 1. I haven't read it yet. It's kind of just a reprint of number 1. I don't know what this is actually for, unless it's just an actual number 1. Again, I haven't had a chance to read it. Didn't order it. It was in my box, so I picked it up. Of course, as you know, 193 being the last, Walking Dead sold really, really well, so there is that. Spider-Man City at War, number 5, the Gameverse variant edition. Spotlight, the D Ward. Looking forward to reading these Spotlight books. These are cheap, $1.99. So I'm anxious to see that there. Here is a cover purchase only from Zenescope number 5, Gretel. Really cool book there. Cool cover. I haven't read the story. I probably won't read the story. This was a cover purchase. Again, someone saw me in a shop and said, it's not okay to buy books for just the covers. Sure it is. It's art. If you like a hot cover, buy a hot cover. That's what you're looking at anyways when you first get the book. Aquaman 50. Pretty cool cover there. Silver Surfer Black number 2. Little throwdown with the Thing right there. Daredevil number 8, Carnage edition. Pretty cool looking there. Collapser number 1. Another group of books that came in. It's hard to find some that were in really good condition, but these were, up to my standards, so I picked a couple of these up. Kind of an interesting concept, guy with a black hole in his chest, so I am looking forward to reading that. This was the A cover for Silver Surfer Black. Resonant number 1 from Vault Comics. Cool dog right there. Looks like he's got a little pit bull action there. And the B cover for Batman 75, City of Bane storyline. There it is right there. Kind of a cool Bane cover. And my choice for cover of the week was a Ross cover for Vampirella number 1, one of the many covers they came out with. That was just a wicked cover to me. And then, of course, the Vampirella #2, there's another cover that's coming out that I've already ordered several copies of, because I think it's going to be something that's going to have a long-lasting effect over time, and it's always going to be, sought after. So those were the books we picked up this week. Again, really big week for books again. Spent a lot of money on books. Oh, and also, this was the week the new price guide came out, the new Overstreet. I picked up a hard version of this book, and I picked up a big book, the big book, which is different this year. Let me grab it. Here's the big book. And last year they did it for the first time without the spiral spine. And I kind of like the spiral spine because when you had that, it would lay flat and it was real easy to look at things. Here it has a little bow in the middle, so it's hard to put the books on both sides, as you can see. But I always get the big book because, face it, I'm getting older and I just don't see the little letters like I used to. So I have one big book for the house, and I always take a regular smaller version with me when I go look at collections or buy things online. So there was that. Real quick, I had a comment from, I've always talked about CGC and how my distaste for CGC and how I don't like CGC. Not because I don't believe in the grading practices, but because I believe that there is more going on with CGC as it relates to inaccurate grading and the money grab that they do. So I was talking to a buddy of mine, and we had Amazing Con here a couple of months ago, or about a month ago, and he was taking some books in to get graded by CGC, and he had a book that was a really nice book that was graded a 5.0, but looking at the book, everybody agrees that it wasn't a 5.0. It was more of a 3.5, 4.0. And so he took the books to the CGC booth, and he was like, I want to get the book popped open and get a signature, but I want to be able to keep the same grade that you guys put on it. So the gentleman at the booth who's helping him is looking at it, and he was like, well, we can't guarantee that the grade is going to come back the same after we've opened the case. And so they started having a conversation back and forth to the point where the CGC representative finally said, you know what, go ahead and pop it open, get the book, signed, we'll take care of you. Okay, so what does that mean, we'll take care of you? You can obviously see the book isn't at a certain grade point, but you're going to take care of the customer by giving him a higher grade to get the service. Okay, so this is what we're talking about, and I've said this all along. Everybody says that CGC is a non-financial entity, and they are a third-party service just to help people get the proper grades for their books, but they're not. They are a financial machine. They have a lot of people who buy their books. They have a lot of people who submit their books, and I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is the inaccuracy of the grading. A book that Joe Blow, comic collector, sends in that's going to come back a 4.0, and then you get somebody who has a big account with them, whether it's a private account with a person who resells things at shows or a big major comic book seller in the country sends them books, and that 4.0 now becomes a 5.5 or a 6, which, when you hear stories like that, and the person who told me the story I have no reason to doubt, because he's extremely honest, and he is a CGC guy. He does get books graded by CGC for the resale purposes, so it's good for him to get a higher grade. But when I hear stories like that, it makes me just, the grading is not a good deal. It's not a good grade. It's not a good service. People are making money off of it, and good for you, but it always comes back down to the bottom line. And this is just kind of a rambling rant because I didn't really think it out. But the bottom line is this. When all is said and done, baseball cards were ruined. The baseball card industry was ruined by grading. Comic books are going to be ruined by grading. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but a few years down the road. And I have a way of seeing these things because if you watch my older videos and my original CGC videos, I told people that you're going to start seeing a ton of 9.8, 9.9s, and 10s, and everybody said I was crazy back then, which was probably 4 years ago, and now you're seeing tons of 9.8s, 9.9s, and 10s because there were nowhere else for that grading market to go. Pretty soon there's going to be nowhere else for the grading market to go. I also called out special labels and signature labels, and everybody said that, no, that's not true. It is true because CGC is all about making the money. So until we get a company that is solid with their grading and honest with their grading and not doing it based off of a financial bottom line where they will charge you more money for a higher grade on a vintage book, there's no one to be trusted, because if there's an extra dollar to be made by bumping a grade up, you're probably going to get that bump up grade and it's bad for the industry. It's bad for the person. Well, it's not bad for the person sending the books in, but it's bad for the person who's buying the book, thinking that they're getting a solid investment book in a 7.5, 8.0, just to use that number as an example, only to sell the book later on down the line or crack the book open and find out it was actually a 4.5, and they've lost a ton of money depending on the age of the book. So there was kind of that right there. Again, I'm not completely against the capsulation of books if you're looking at it just to preserve books, like I stated before, high-end books and pre-code books, or things that you really don't want out in the open because every time you touch it, it can drop down a half a grade because of the frailty of the book. I just don't like the fact that people are getting books graded to make the quick dollar, and the grading companies know this, and they're just throwing out grades that are improper. So there's that. So pretty much all we had this day. I know I'm going to get tons of thumbs down videos because I always do when I talk about CGC, but that's okay. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all my viewers. And so that's all we have this week. So I hope you liked the video. But as always, if you didn't, nothing I can do for you. Have a great day if you're in Comic-Con, and have a great time and be safe. And I'll see you next week.